Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion on this lovely rainy day. The rainy days are so contemplative, I think. Anyway, so my name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am thrilled to have this conversation with you today in my living room, listening to this. It's so serene. The rain, oh my God, feeling so calm and relaxed today. So anyway, this has me even more excited to talk about today about your own personal best. And in our current society, where we're zipping around like gerbils on crack, so focused, especially with social media, where everybody else is doing all the time. Think of all those polarized words. It's stressful just to say them, never mind hear them and resonate with them. Everybody always know it. Those words don't even exist in reality, right? Everybody doesn't like me. Everybody's got a promotion. Everybody's getting this. Everybody's going to graduate school. Everybody's got more retirement than me. It's all so ridiculous, regardless of your life stage. And so what I want to talk about is competition. Having a competitive spirit is okay. I have a very competitive spirit, actually. And there's so much said about, competition is not good and that. No, competition is great as long as it's directed towards yourself. Then it is highly, highly motivating. Being better at whatever today than you were yesterday. And even if you don't make your own mark, to extend compassion and kindness towards yourself, okay, and get back on the train. But in this particular, in our society, there's so much emphasis on social comparison, especially since the social media thing, teens, young adults, and even seasoned adults. I think it's definitely more so with the younger generations with this compulsion, for lack of a better word, to feel the need to be connected 24/7. They can't not do it. They just have to check. And then there's an immediate, the minute they hit that phone and look, their brain doesn't even know what to expect yet. They look, so-and-so's in a relationship, so-and-so went on a vacation, so-and-so, blah, blah. They don't even know what to expect yet. The minute they hit that, there's a change in mood, okay, which can be positive on occasion. For the most part, it's negative, because that's where social comparison goes. It's a straight road to sad. So there was a gentleman by the name of Leon Festinger who came up with the social comparison theory back in 1950. I think it's 1951, maybe 52. Anyway, early 50s. And it's amazing how his theory still applies to now, when back then it was like, the Donahues got a new station wagon, and and then it just rolled by right in front of our faces, and then Mr. Donahue, because that's how it was in the 50s, right, put his brand new shiny station wagon in the garage, and then all of a sudden, okay, we're not talking about it anymore because it's not right here, but everything is right here now. So that theory that Leon Festinger came up with back then is even more applicable now, because it's just right there on the computer, on the phone, on the tablet, on the whatever. And when we compare to what other people are doing, it is a straight road to just negative emotion. Fill it in. Sad's one of them. Okay? And so we got to really run our own race and get focused on our own race and our own path. And also, in addition to the social comparison, not to get caught up in obstacles, because it's so easy, even if we are sort of focused on our own thing, to kind of be focused on what's getting in the way. And there's one example, Simon Sinek used it a while ago, but man, does it hit with me, because we are skiers in this family. And he talked about skiing in the trees, and we love to ski in the trees. So when I'm dipping in there with usually it's my oldest son, because he loves to ski the most, and also our youngest, what Simon Sinek said is so true. If you watch skiers, especially I'll stick with my son and my oldest and my youngest. When we're dipping through the trees, sometimes I'll just watch them, because the dynamic is so great, and they're naturally doing what I wish we could apply to the world, and we can't apply to the world, because if you focus on the trees, there's so many trees. How can people ski in the trees? There's so many trees. Trees don't move. Trees, if we hit them, we can be in really bad shape. But neither one of them are thinking that way. Neither am I. But again, I watch them, and they're so fluid. Because they're not focused on the trees. They're focused on the path between the trees. They're focused on the snow. They're focused on, when skiers call it a line. We're focused on a line. You kind of just glance quickly, and you can just see, and you kind of go that way. And then if there's some big bush that's there, then you pick another line. But you're not really consciously thinking all that. You just do it. And it just happens in milliseconds, and you're in the flow. and you're just sort of sticking to the path. And this is what we need to do in life, is know and allow for our own alignment of our authentic self, our authentic personality, to gel with what the universe has in store with us on this path. Just listening, and finding our line, I guess, to, that's really good actually, finding our line, just like we do in skiing, in life. And it does, in skiing in reality, it shifts constantly because, you know, metaphorically, I guess, life happens and has a shift too. Well, in the trees, bushes happen, rocks happen, cliffs happen. You sometimes have to pivot pretty fast. And then you just kind of find a new line as you're headed down the path. And so that's the way it is. And not to also get caught up in somebody else's line. So somebody might be looking really appealing to you. They're you know, at work, they've taken off, they get a little side hustle, and it's starting to do well. And wow, wouldn't I like to do that too? And maybe you would. But it's important not to get wrapped up in not to get wrapped up in someone else's success. And even better, to send them the good vibes if you can do that. Like they're you know, because when they're in the flow, they're going to ooze of charisma, authentic joy. They're living the highest vibe of themselves, and sort of you know, wish them well with it. Wish them well and not get caught up in it, realizing that we've got to focus on our own thing, and also not to get wrapped up in whatever their strengths are. And sometimes, especially when somebody is in this sort of the same kind of, into the same kind of thing that we are, it can shine a light on maybe what, I don't like to use the word weakness too much, but sometimes when they're really strong at something, it can shine a light on what we need to work on still. So we can also run with that in a healthy way. Okay, this was revealed to me, didn't know, thank you, I can now work on this. And also to work on developing our own strengths instead of, again, wanting someone else's strengths is what I'm saying, okay? And also, this is one thing that I like about the Strength Scope. A colleague of mine, Tom, we work on things related to this. I like the language of it. It's just an inventory. Like, there's so many of them out there. Most of them are free. Strength Scope is not free, but it's not super expensive. Anyway, I like the wording because when you have your color wheel done, it's these beautiful colors of all the different parts of you, enthusiasm and optimism and empathy, and then all the critical thinking stuff, and it shows all these colors, and it shows us what excites us versus what drains us. So it's not saying, oh, this and that are your strengths, and then you suck at all this stuff. You know, it doesn't say that. It says this is what excites you, this is what drains you. So I've talked about that a little bit before, and it is so important to know what excites us, because that is when we pay attention to our strengths, our signature strengths, as Marty Seligman will call them, and we align our signature strengths with our authentic passion, there is no stopping you. Let me tell you that. Talk about your personal best. Remember, keep in your frame. We've talked about the frame. Keep in your frame where your authenticity resides, your love and self-acceptance also reside, and your own signature strengths reside in here. Other people's strengths are in their frames. So we don't want to be tempted. Oh, I feel like I want to go get my frame right now. We don't want to be tempted to look outside the frame at their strengths. Stay in your frame with your strengths in alignment with your authentic self and what you're meant to do on this earth. Stay on your path. Look for the snow. Don't focus on the trees. That's it. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful Northern Vermont on this lovely rainy day. Have a mindful day.